Offage is a logistics-themed board game designed by Wolfgang Kramer and published in 1987 by FX Schmid. The game won the Spiel des Jahres award. In 1992, a junior edition was released, and in 1994 a rummy-like card game spin-off was released. Articulate is a fast-talking description board game from Drummond Park, for 4 to 20-plus players aged 12 and up. Articulate. Players describe words from different categories to their team as quickly as possible. Arkham Horror is an adventure board game designed by Richard Launius, originally published in 1987 by Chaosium and most recently published in 2005 and revised in 2007 by Fantasy Flight Games. In both editions, players take on the role of investigators in H. Robo Rally is a board game originally published in 1994 by Wizards of the Coast. It was designed in 1985 by Richard Garfield, who would later create the card game Magic: The Gathering. The game and its expansions received a total of 4 Origins Awards. Scattergories is a creative thinking category-based party game produced by Hasbro through the Milton Bradley Company and published in 1988. The objective of the 2 to 6 player game is to score points by uniquely naming objects within a set of categories, given an initial letter, within a time limit. Apples to Apples is a party game originally published by Out of the Box Publishing, and now published by Mattel. The object of the game is to win the most rounds by playing a red apple card from one's hand to best match that round's communal green apple card is chosen by that round's judging player. Anti-Monopoly is a board game made by San Francisco State University professor Ralph Ansbach, in response to Monopoly. The game was originally to be produced in 1973 as Bust the Trust, but the title was changed to Anti-Monopoly. Emonry is a game designed by Rainer Nizza and first published in 2003 by Hans Mglck in German and in English by Rio Grande Games. Players are leaders of different Egyptian dynasties who try to gain influence in 15 provinces of ancient Egypt. Aladdin's Dragons is a 2000 bidding-based board game by Richard Breeze. It is a re-implementation of his 1998 game Kingdom. Agon is an epic fantasy role-playing game based on novels by award-winning fantasy writer Matthew Gabriet. Agon is set in the land of Harmondia, also known as the Twilight Realms. The game was published in French starting in 1999 by the now-defunct company Multisim, which also translated 5 books into English starting in 2001. Agricola is a German-style board game created by E. Rosenberg, and published by Lookout Games in Europe and Z-Man Games in the US. The goal of the game is to build the most well-balanced farm at the end of 14 rounds, consisting of plowed fields for crops and fenced pastures for livestock. Afrikantintai or Africa's Estijanrana, meaning the Star of Africa, is a Finnish board game designed by Kari Mannerla originally in 1951. It has been one of the most popular board games in both Finland and Sweden for decades. Acquire is a board game designed by Sid Saxon. The game was originally published in 1962 by 3M as a part of their Bookshelf Games series. In most versions, the theme of the game is investing in hotel chains. Abalone is an award-winning 2-player strategy board game designed by Michel Lala and Laurent Elvy, in which the players are represented by marbles of opposing colors. The objective is to push 6 of the opponent's marbles off the edge of the board. 30 Seconds is a fast-paced general knowledge game. Players generally play in teams of 2 to 16. One player must guess a word from their teammate's explanation, much like charades, with the aim to guess as many possible answers in 30 seconds. 221B Baker Street, the Master Detective game is a board game featuring Arthur Conan Doyle's fictional detective Sherlock Holmes and developed by J. Moriarty Bantler Productions, in 1975 and sold by the John N. 18XX is the generic term for a series of board games that, with a few exceptions, recreate the building of railroad corporations during the 19th century. Individual games within the series use particular years in the 19th century as their title, or 18 plus a 2-letter geographical designator. 13 Dead End Drive is a murder-themed board game from Milton Bradley. Released in 1993, it was followed in 2002 by a sequel, 1313 Dead End Drive. The story behind the game indicating the death of a wealthy old woman triggers feuding over her will.